What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Open Late with Nev and Kev.
I am Nev.
And I'm Kev. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, bro. Is this thing in frame? Can you see this in there?
No, you shouldn't be. I'll move it, though.
No?
And then also, too, being that I'm up and making myself the focal point of attention, it's important to address the elephant in the room.
I know.
It's a new look. It's the same pod. All
Damn.
right.
I did not recognize this fool when he walked into my house today. I was like, bro, what the fuck happened to your hair?
Yeah, I cut my hair off, and then I cut my facial hair off along with it. I've been growing my hair for
Over
just shy of a year, and my facial hair for the last 4 months. And I was like, that's a little moment and opportunity for a quick little change. My hair grows back so fast. I was like,
yeah, I feel like you look like 7 years younger.
I do, bro.
You look
I
like
do.
LA
I
Kev.
I know. Bartender Kev, LA Kev,
Yeah.
It's a trip. It makes me feel very naked. Like, I like covering my face.
Yeah.
Like, I like throwing on a hat, my hair just being wild. But at the same time, like, I feel like I lived in it. And that was got annoying. Like, I don't have the best hairline in the game. You dig? So there's a lot of things that, like, with long hair, if you're not having a good day, you can really be chalked. And
Yeah.
I didn't have it really layered or anything done to it. I just have really wavy hair, and they could get out of hand.
I remember one time you did dreads.
I did cornrows.
Oh, yeah, cornrows.
For
That's
my
what it
buddy's
was.
wedding, because he wanted us to all get our hair braided. That was the first time I grew my hair out. That was a beginning LA Kev.
Yeah.
That was whenever I came already out to LA with my hair growing. I grew it out for over a year and a half, and it was like down to here. It was like sandy blonde. It was a vibe. It was a good vibe, man.
Yeah.
And then I chopped that after the Memories music video. And then shoot, since last September, I started growing it, and now we're just about to hit September. So it would have been a year.
About a
and I was
year.
like, it's time to let her go.
This length reminds me of bleached hair Kev. Bleached
Oh,
hair
yeah,
Kev was a
for-
fucking daredevil.
Yeah,
Bleached hair Kev was crazy.
the bleach got to me, dog. Yeah, dude, it's funny because I always gone through so many phases or so many like different hairstyles or vibes that I'm like, there are different pockets of, I guess, yeah, moments in time where I was either doing certain things or different phases in my life. But yeah, dude, we're here. Clean cut Kev is back for now. I'm gonna take my ass to fucking Turkey and
get the hair transplant.
I'm gonna get that beautiful crispy hairline.
I thought you cut your hair because this is the 10th episode and we're celebrating episode number 10, double digit club. Yes, sir.
It is 10, big 10. But
Yeah.
no, I think it was because I'm in a wedding coming up, and not to mention just with work, like, it's so hot, bro, and like,
yeah, that's just probably draped over your forehead.
it is, and I'm sweating so much. I'm like, all right, I live in a hat. It's giving like my forehead, like, I'm just like, I don't really get acne in my forehead or anything, but like, it was starting to, and I'm just like, all right, dude, I let my fucking face and my hair breathe. And anyways, so that's that.
You feel lighter?
I do. I feel lighter. I feel younger.
Yeah.
I get told that constantly. They're like, "Holy shit, bro! Like, it's like a time capsule."
That's
you
crazy.
know, like,
What was Daisy's reaction? Did she tell you to do it? Did you tell her you
no,
were gonna do it?
because she was in New Orleans.
Oh,
She just
okay.
came back last night, and my hair was already cut. And
You didn't tell her you were gonna do it?
no. I just did it. And then she loves the short hair,
Yeah.
like Bartender Kev, where I was clean cut and whatnot. That's just her vibe in general. And kissing me without a huge mustache
That's
is a little
true.
more appealing, because it
That's
was like
true.
over my lip. Yeah, but everybody's cool with it.
Hell yeah, bro.
But hope you guys are too, man. I look like a different co-host up
Dude,
here.
it's crazy. It's like I don't even know who I'm talking to right now. But yeah, man, episode number 10, dog.
Big 10, dog.
Double
Big
digit
10,
club,
double
bro.
digits. The pod is growing.
Yes, sir.
Still infantile, but we are here,
We
brother.
are here, man. Everything's looking good. The clips are doing great on social media. Super proud of us for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they've been real good, man. It's kind of crazy to see, and yeah, the where it's growing and stuff is super cool.
Yeah.
Super
It's
cool.
definitely like a rewarding feeling, I feel like, just
Yeah.
like, we're in here all the time, just chopping it up. So
Yeah.
it's cool that whatever we think, there's people out there that also vibe and connect with it. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Yeah, and it's the variation of topics and things that we're bringing up of discussion that I think gives it a little bit like not just talking about health and wellness, but also plethora of different things, and just having the
Yeah.
fluid convo is always fun to switch it up. So it's not just
Yeah.
like beating a dead horse, but
Exactly. Dude, I saw this fucking news article the other day. Walmart did a whole fucking recall on their frozen shrimp because all the shrimp was radioactive and contaminated.
no kid. How does that work?
So like the way that it was is like the shrimp from Walmart is is made in Indonesia or processed in Indonesia or whatever. And in order for it to get from Indonesia to America for distribution, it has to go through like this port checkpoint. And in that checkpoint, there was there's these scanners that scan for radioactivity, just in general, for all goods that are being imported or exported. And it scanned that the shrimp was fucking radioactive. I think it was like CS-132 or something like that. You can fact check me on that, but it was like a form of radioactiveness that is contained into those shrimp. And then they issued a whole ass fucking recall and everything. But the thing is, it's like the shrimp never made it into the country. Like they caught it at the border before it got in. But they still recalled it just in case there might be a couple stragglers out there. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody gonna eat it and get superpowers.
Yeah, bro.
That's
it's like
wild.
glow in the dark shrimp, bro. It's like
That's a trip. So were they glowing?
no, they weren't.
I'm like they're because like how do you know? Like
How do you
out of
know?
a
You wouldn't
plethora,
know.
Like one of them bitches is like radiating. You're like that's the
That's
one.
the one. Nah, it's like you wouldn't be able to tell. It just looks like frozen shrimp in a container in a package.
So
right?
there's product testing or whatever, or not
Yeah.
testing, but you know what I mean for quality control.
Yeah, it's because
And
like
then-
whenever they import export, there's like a radioactivity scanner, and then they scan it,
Oh,
and there's
shit.
like radioactive aura or whatever you want to call it on
Yeah,
that
probably
shrimp.
from like blowing up nukes and shit underwater.
That's
you know,
crazy.
like,
Oh yeah, that's true, huh?
just the crazy.
I didn't even
crazy
think
stuff
about that.
happen. No, you gotta think it's gotta because like shrimp are bottom feeders.
Yeah,
So if anything residue from that stuff or however it works settles at the bottom, and you get these shrimps that are just going to town on it,
that's crazy.
could probably be like how they become radioactive.
I never thought about that. Like they're always testing radioactive or like nuclear weapons underwater in the
Mhm.
oceans. Like we eat that fish.
Yeah, yeah,
I never even thought about that. It's fucking crazy.
yeah. It could be the reason, but
That's why it's radioactive.
yeah, who
shrimp.
knows? Or there's like a alien base down there, and they're
Yeah.
radioactive, and the shrimp that are just chilling around there
That's
are
crazy.
getting it.
But it's just like,
go
how
the
many more
conspiratorial
things do
route.
we gotta worry about in the world, dog? Like we can't even fucking eat shrimp without fear of radiation.
Yeah. Contr Contrary to popular opinion, I guess I would say that maybe we shouldn't even eat shrimp, as they're fucking cockroaches of the sea.
Really? You don't like shrimp?
No, I do. I'm just saying that, like, because like they're bottom feeders, like they eat off of like the ground, and same thing with I think catfish, which is why their mouths are at their like under their chin, or like where their I guess like a chin would be,
Yeah.
and so it's because they go on the floor and they eat all the shit off the ground, so they're like a dirty fish.
Ew.
But people like them,
Yeah. Isn't catfish like hella expensive at restaurants?
not to my knowledge, but I know that they fucking get big, dude. Have you seen like the catfishes that grow to the size
No.
of a school bus?
Nuh-uh. A fucking school bus?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. You
That
could,
big?
yeah. I'll find a photo. I'll put it up on the pod. But they get massive, bro, massive, and I think those are the fish that people in like New Orleans and other places down in South, they fucking, if you ever heard of noodling,
No,
Where
I know like
they-
fish fry and
like noodling, like they stick their arms in the water, and the catfish will bite onto their entire arm, and then they pull it up because they don't have teeth. So they basically catch the fish from the inside of their own body and pull them out.
what the hell?
Yeah, it's called noodling.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like a big thing they do out there. Like you get people that are like their whole body, they'll hold their legs, they dive into the water, and like all you see is just their waist dangling, and they fucking get down in there and then fucking pull these big old catfish up.
What the hell?
Yeah,
That's gnarly.
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but it's crazy. So people, like, it's funny wherever you're at and where you live, like in your culture, it's like stuff that people here would be like, bro, there's no way I'm doing that. And then other people, like, they grow up doing that and they're like, this is how we get down.
It's just another Saturday.
Yeah, that's how we get down, man.
Yeah, I mean, culture is all relative, you know what I'm saying? People got so many different things from all types of the world, you know?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of traditions that we might think is weird, but that's just
Of course,
normal,
and it's
you know?
normal as hell to them, you know?
But that's the beauty of, like, the world, you know? Like, we can all be different. It's all good.
Yeah. No, everybody should be the same.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I heard you got your bike fixed.
I did, dude. I did. I got called at work yesterday, and the gentleman let me know that it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. What are you riding?
Sportster 883.
Okay. I don't know anything about motorcycles. I just know it's a Harley.
Yeah, it's a full size bike, but it's just an 883, not like 1200 or anything like that. My next bike would probably be a Dyna, something bigger or something more comfortable for the road.
Yeah.
Right now, the Sportster, it's meant for like zipping around local, kind of like just cruising, riding, you know, nothing too crazy. It's not built for long distance. It's not built for, you know, crazy terrain. But like that bike, like granted, yes, you could drive it as far as you want. It's just not going to be the most comfortable ride.
Yeah, it's pretty bumpy. You took it to LA, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I took when I was still a new rider, like I've ridden dirt bikes growing up. Like I built a bike with my buddy. It was a Suzuki GN 250, tiny little bike, sound like a lawnmower when you started it. It was a little guy. We stripped it down to the frame and sandblasted it, got any rust off of there, repainted it, and I mean built it all back together, put it all back together, changed the headlights, the handlebars, all that stuff. So it was fun, learning and getting to do that with something and just, you know, buying parts and then putting it together. And then that was such a small bike that I don't think it went past like maybe 65 miles an hour, and the carburetor on it kept going out because there was just so old. There was like holes that were like pinholes through it from like sand and debris and shit. And I couldn't find a new carburetor. I didn't want to put money into turning it into fuel injected because it just wasn't worth it to do all that. So I ended up shit canning it for a car, and then I sold that car, but whatever. It was just a fun project. And then I was like, all right, I need to get something bigger. I was out there in LA with you.
Yeah.
And me and you were I was helping as like, what do you want to call that? Like I was like the assistant on your music video.
Yeah,
I was getting,
production assistant,
yeah,
PA.
Yeah, PA. I was just helping with B-roll and vibes and stuff like that.
Which
and
music video was that one?
it was for
Was it Fall For You when you took the bike?
no, I didn't take the bike. I hadn't got the bike yet.
Oh.
I'm saying that I was out there for your music video. We were on PCH with Cody.
Temporary Truce.
Temporary Truce. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we were filming that, and people during that time of the season, everybody on PCH with their Harleys, they'd be riding wheelies and stuff like that, a gang of people out there. And I remember telling you, I was like, bro, I'm gonna get a bike. And then the weekend passes and I flew out there. So you took me to the airport, which is funny because story time. It's a quick story. I won't. But it was, I forget what we were doing, but for whatever reason, we were just being little psychopaths, and we were like fucking hammered. The night before I had to leave, you cut it off early. You were being responsible.
Yeah.
But Connie, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's like I antagonize him or I ignite something in him.
Dude, that was like bad influence Kev back then, bro.
And I would get him going, and then me and him would just start drinking and laughing. We're talking, whatever. And me and him get fucking hammered, dude. And then I remember he ended up leaving, I think, getting an Uber. And it was like he called himself 2 different Ubers because we tried to wake him up. And he started speaking in German.
Wait, this is when Mike Lowry stole his Uber, right?
I think so. It might have been because we had like a little shindig or something. And Mike Lowry was like, bro, he ain't gonna take it. I'm gonna scoop it. So he took it. And then Connie wakes up. We're like, bro, we were trying to wake you up. He's like, putana. Like, he was so mad.
He was cussing in German.
Yeah, he was like, my Uber, no. And then he was like, I gotta call another one. And it took longer. So we were keeping him awake. He ended up getting an Uber going home.
I told him just stay the night.
Yeah.
Man. It's like, you're already fucked up. Just stay
and
over.
He wasn't that far down the road. He just didn't want to hoof it, which
Yeah.
rightfully so because he was fucking torched. But anyways, yeah. So I was hammered, dude, but I was still vibing, grooving, whatever. Went to sleep, woke up at 5 a.m. And I think you were assisted in waking me up. You're like, Kev, you
Like, you
up?
gotta
Because I
get
got to
your
take you to
ass
the
up.
airport.
Yep.
So I was still drunk as shit. And I mean, drunk, bro. And you took me to Starbucks down the road
Yeah, Melrose.
on Melrose. And I grabbed a coffee. I think you ordered it for me
Oh yeah,
on
I
your
walked
app.
and picked it up.
Yeah. So we drove.
We drove. Oh,
Yeah,
on the way. Yeah.
yeah. And then I popped in there real quick, grabbed it. Then you take me to the airport. Coffee's done by the time I get to the airport, and I'm like sauced, bro. I come to and I'm like, bro, I hope they don't smell
The
the
alcohol on
alcohol.
you.
Speaking
Aura.
of radiation, of radiating off my body, because they're not gonna let me get on the flight. Luckily, they didn't, and I mean, I am like getting through this like airport, like looking, trying to figure stuff out, like. I was gone, bro.
You're trying to find your gate,
Bruh,
your
I was,
terminal.
but I found it all. I was like fucking Marco Polo that bitch all the way to the gate, dog. Like I found it, got there, and then Daisy picked me up. I think it was a Sacramento airport, and when she picks me up, she's like, "Are you drunk?" And I was like, "Yeah, from last night." I was like, "I still haven't got sober." She's like, "Oh my god!" So she's like, "All right, have you eaten?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, and then as we're driving, I was like, "I want pizza. I know that."
Uh-huh.
I was like, and I also want to buy a Harley. And she's been wanting at that time wanting me to get one. She was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah." And I had a little bit of money.
It was like
I was
$3
like,
grand, right? Something like that.
No, I put down 2.5, and the
Uh-huh.
bike was 9,000. And I went. So she was like, "I'll take you to Mitchell's Harley Davidson
Yeah.
in Modesto because the pizza joint's right connected to it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All
That
right,
pizza's hella good.
yeah, it's a good time."
Yeah.
We ordered a pizza. I get a pitcher of beer because you know me. I'm
Yep.
like, let's keep it rolling, big dog. So I've drank a couple beers. I go next door. I'm browsing around, whatever. I'm looking, and I find like the perfect bike, dog. Like the 883 Sportster. It was a perfect start out bike, like full size. So I still get everything, but it was awesome. Plus back then, like I was tiny, bro. I weighed like $145, skinny. I don't need nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's gonna be perfect. I don't sit on it or anything because I'm intoxicated, and I'm like looking at it, whatever. And then the lady comes up to me and she was like, "Hey, we could pull it out front. You can start it up and like sit on it and da da da." I was like, "Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I'm drunk. I was like, I just came back from LA. I just flew in and I'm hammered and I'm still drinking beer next door." She's like, "Thank you for your honesty." She's like, we'll have it delivered to you."
Uh-huh.
Like, because I was going to have one of my buddies come pick it up.
Yeah.
Because I was signing paperwork.
Wait, so you bought it right then?
Yeah.
You bought it on the spot while you were drunk?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
lit.
Yeah, talk about impulse, dude. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it. So I had the income in my account to put down for the deposit, which is I think like $2,500.
Yeah.
And then yeah. And I think I have like only a couple more payments left and she's paid off.
Damn.
And then anyways, yeah.
But you had to put it back together too, didn't you? Like, do you feel like any bad juju from it, considering what happened?
I know. You're talking about when I got in an accident.
Yeah, because dude, that bike got fucked up in that accident, and so did you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, are you sure you're ready to like get back on the bike and start riding again after all of that?
Yeah, of course.
You're a crazy dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. But that's what I'm talking about. Like not riding a full size bike and me also testing the limits and doing shit that I probably shouldn't. That time you're talking about was when I was driving back from Sonora, and the sun was coming down, the wind was blowing heavily, and I'm coming downhill toward the sun. So not the most ideal riding circumstances. Definitely shouldn't have been riding a Sportster with heavy wind. It's just, especially like I'm not like a seasoned vet when it comes to riding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and my weight distribution is just wasn't great. So I've driven in, like I said, to LA and back, no problem. Like I'm a good rider. I'm not like a bad rider at all by any means, but you just can't necessarily, what I mean by experience is like being able to anticipate when things go wrong. what things you probably could expect to happen, which I was just oblivious to. I'm thinking I'm riding down the hill. All I'm
Like you
facing,
were driving.
yeah, I'm like, all I'm facing is wind, and I know how to counter steer. I know how to lean in. I'm good. Well, I didn't take into consideration like the road that I'm riding on. I had this turn. There was some debris in the road, and when I turned and I hit like something, it stood me up on the apex of the turn. So when it stood me up, and your bike gets speed wobbles, it fucking takes you from here straight. And when it straightened me out on a curve, I went off. So luckily, you know, if I was anywhere like a quarter mile behind me or in front of me, I'm dead.
You would have fallen off the
because it
mountain.
would have been like a cliff, you know, and it would have been probably, you know, done deal. But where I went off, and the tall yellow grass out there is very silky, so when it's tall like that, you'll slide. Well, I went off, and it was just bumpy as hell. It was like boom, 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 and I'm just holding on, right? While my helmet on, my chin strapped, everything.
Were you like
underneath.
braking as it happened?
I did what I in the moment remember from just training of what to do. You pull in your clutch, stay off the throttle, because when it pulls you, you don't want to whisk throttle it. Yeah. So I pull in the clutch, start kind of floating both of your brakes if you can. I mean, it was so bumpy, it was like bucking me off, and I just went boom, 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 and then it fucking hit this big old, because it divvied in, big old like
Pothole.
bump, and yeah, because I'm off the road now, so it's all mountain, and it goes bam. When it does that, I go through the handlebars, my face mask, from the downforce, it cut off my circulation underneath my throat. Like you could hear it like that, where it's just easy to do. So when it cut off my circulation, it knocked me out. When it knocked me out, I couldn't have strength to hold up the steering anymore. So the bike goes down. When it goes down, the peg goes into my leg or in my pant. It doesn't penetrate my skin, thank God, but it goes in my pant. So when it does, it hooked me on, and now when the bike, wherever it went, it was dragging me with it.
Yeah, you went right with it.
And I'm knocked out. So I'm my legs underneath the bike. I'm sliding with the bike for a good while, maybe 20 yards. And I come to, and it was like immediate. Like as soon as the bike settled, it was like I came to. I air's knocked out of me. I can't breathe. And I like stand up, all the adrenaline I had in my body. I get my leg out. I pick the bike up. That's all I'm thinking is like my bike. No, like
you're not even thinking about your own.
No, not at all. I wasn't thinking about me whatsoever. I could have been mangled. Didn't even come past my mind. I was like, I'm awake. It took me a minute to. I couldn't breathe.
Your breath.
Yeah. So finally, I do, and I feel like I go to open my mouth, and I feel like I have a lot of saliva. And so when I open my mouth, it just a bucket of blood pours on my cut, and so I'm just leaking. So I'm like, oh no. So I take my helmet off. I get the strap off, and I could kind of see my reflection, and I could see that like I just have blood everywhere. I bit through my lip, like completely through it, and I broke the front of my teeth, just like the inside part of both of my front teeth. So I'm like, oh shit. Then I'm like kind of looking around. People stop. People call the cops. Whatever. And you know, I wasn't inebriated, nothing. I was just unfortunate, you know, and there was no other cars, no infractions, no nothing. Like there was not reckless driving. I wasn't speeding. It was just unfortunate. Well, the cop that got there was a fucking piece of shit, dude. He was just a dickhead from the jump.
No way.
Didn't give a fuck about my well-being. Was like asking me all these questions, like interrogating me.
Yeah, as if like you were drunk.
Not like,
riding.
hey, are you okay? It was like all this like hammering at me kind of questions, asking me like, what's your name? What's your date of birth? Trying to make sure my cognition also is there too. I'm sure doing like crash protocol. And I'm able to answer everything. And then he's like, I'm able to stand. But now that the adrenaline is starting to subside,
you're feeling the
my
pain.
body's going into shock. So I'm starting to shake.
Yeah.
And I can't control it. And then my leg is just like terrible pain. My side starts hurting. I'm like kind of banged up. So then the police officer gets an ambulance over there, and they're all kind of like intertwined in some weird way. Like he was like adamant on me getting in that ambulance, and I'm like, I'm not getting in that ambulance
because you know that's about $4,000.
Yeah,
if you do.
I'm like, I don't need to. I called my pops, which I was coming down from his house. He came with my brother in his truck, his lift gated truck for work. they loaded my bike up. They took it up to his house, and he was like, "You want to just ride with me? I'll just take you to the hospital." And I was like, "I'm cool. I don't need to go to the hospital." Me being young and stupid and
That's
being
nuts.
like, I mean, I'll be the same way now. This is how I am. I'm always like, dude, I've faced death so many times, and like I've cracked my head open. I mean, bad, like just fucked up so many different ways that to me, just like I have to literally be fighting for my life to be like something's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's not good, but it's just like I was like, I'm good, like I'm cool, but then the pain starts getting worse, and he's like, "Are you sure?" Like he wasn't gonna make me do anything, but I was like, "All right, like, just fucking take me." He's like, "At least to know that you don't have anything broken."
Yeah,
He's
we're
like,
like a
"Your adrenaline is
concussion.
still, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was concussed for sure.
Yeah.
Like I was in bad shape." So anyways, whatever, the cop was pissed. So the cop wrote up that I was reckless driving. I made an illegal turn.
We wasn't even there to see it.
Yeah. And then that's what he wrote on the report. And then I had to go to court and I got a mark on my record. So fast forward
What
real
a
quick.
fucking dick.
Yeah, fast forward real quick. I was going to go fight it in court. And I was on a fucking beat up old Chevy S10. And then I'm driving one morning, and it's dumping, it's raining, right? It's in winter at this time. This is like, I don't know, a good ways from when everything had happened, whatever. And the windshield wiper fucking was going, and it goes, God. And it starts going like this on the side of my truck, like not even on my window, just like on the complete side. And now I can't see. So I'm like, I can't go all the way to Sonora like this. So that was my only vehicle, and it was dumbass early in the morning. It was just dumping. So I ended up, forfeiting my ability to try to overturn it or whatever. But
Wow.
but anyways, back to that moment. So my pops takes me to the hospital up there in Sonora. They do all this stuff. They do an X-ray. He's like, I'm gonna need to stitch up your lip because like it's bad. And I'm like, all right. And so they give me like morphine. It does not help at all. Like, that's when I knew, and they were like, "You're probably in worse shape than you think because you should be numb." And I was like, well, it is what it is. Like, let me just get me out of here. He's like, "All right, we're gonna stitch you up real quick." I was like, "Do you mind if I film it?" He's like, I guess. Like, that's kind of a weird, like, why would you want to film it? I was like, I don't know.
I ask
like,
that a
just
lot to my people too.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you guys care if I'm filming?
Yeah, I mean, it's my right to film. I probably just, as long as I'm not in his way.
Yeah.
So I held my phone out like that, and I filmed it, and he stuck this big old needle all on the meat of my lip.
That's nuts.
To then numb it, and I was like, whatever. Boop, boop, boop. He hit me up. A couple minutes later, then he just starts stitching me up, and then I just recorded it, and then I was bent up for a while. Had a hard time walking. My body was real banged up, and then I had to get my teeth fixed. I wasn't able to, obviously, through prior insurance.
Yeah.
Took forever.
Wait, so like when you lost your teeth in the accident, like how do you replace them? Because now if you look at your smile right now, it looks perfectly fine. So like I never understood, like whenever people lose teeth in injuries or something like that,
well, my tooth to the root, like my tooth is there. I broke where it hit, which was like almost like a U of both, where it broke both of my teeth on the front. So what they did was they do like this filler. And then they just do it where they put a little divider between the two front teeth. They fill in the area, and then they use that little like glue gun type, or that light gun,
and then they just
to harden
they fill it in whatever spot is missing.
Yeah, I've had a dog jump up and hit me in the mouth and broke him again, so I've got him fixed twice. Yeah.
That's crazy. So they can't really take a beating. You can't have nothing crunchy.
Fuck, I'm not even supposed to eat a sandwich, but I
what?
did. Yeah, well, because they're not strong. It's not strong as your actual bone. So the more you use it, the more you bite on it, the more stuff like that. Like if I bit into an apple, I have a high chance of breaking them off.
Holy shit.
So you have to like, cut up certain things that normally you would bite with your front teeth. You can't do that no more. A lot of the stuff I still do, and I don't really have too many problems. I think because it didn't break so high up, like the whole tooth itself is still there. So it's pretty strong. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a crazy, like it wasn't a chip. It was more than a chip, but it was less than a full, like busted out my teeth. Yeah. So there's like a little middle ground there. But
so for people that like completely lose their teeth, is there like a way to still fix that?
You have to
be like plastic fake or?
You have to get like a implant where they
Okay.
drill it into your gum and then put a full false or whatever, or you get like the little caps that you just put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that happened, and that was like 8 days from there was our show in LA
Oh yeah.
at the Mint, and I was like, well, if I could walk out of the hospital, I could walk on stage.
That's
I remember telling
exactly what
myself
you
that.
said too.
Yeah. I was like, if I could do that, I could walk on stage. And so I walked out of the hospital. I limped. I wouldn't say I walked. I got out of there, though. And they were like, we'll wheel you out. I was like, no, fuck that. I had to prove it to myself. I was like, which is still stupid. But
Do you feel like you're still the same way? Like defying healthcare, defying people caring for you like that?
yeah, that's probably the CTE I got throughout life that made me that way. I don't know. Or I've always been that way. I have no clue.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I just try to be cautious about it now because I've been so reckless forever, and like that's not always the best thing to do or to be. I've been lucky. I've had God looking out for me for such a long time that always made me feel like whatever it is that He has planned for me is why He keeps being like, I told you before, like whatever guardian angels are just working OT when it comes to me,
Yeah.
Which throughout the pod, I'll drop other stories that are just like insane. But for the sake of this one, to wrap it up, so this pod isn't all about me and my fucking shenanigans. You and I had that big show in LA, and I did like a 45-minute set, not including the set you and I did, and then
Oh,
your
yeah.
set, and it was like such a big moment, and I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna miss it." So I went out there to LA. And we did our rehearsals. Every day showed up to rehearsal that we had at that
The Pirate Studios.
Yeah, at the studios for getting our sets together. Powered through. The day of the show came, I was over at Pop and Melissa's house, and I had stitches in my lip, and they were the wire or the little whatever, the plastic thread was sticking out, and so it always poked my upper lip, and I was like, I'm not gonna perform like that. So I took some scissors, I cut them out, and went and rocked that show with you, bruh.
Fucking gnarly, bro. This man cut out his own fucking stitches.
Yeah, that's what, not to plug it or anything, but I do have a record out there called Through the Stitches that was inspired by, when Kanye, not that I'm like the biggest Kanye fan, but just to
The situation.
just to the situation that he went through with his car accident and having to get his jaw wired, and then making a song called Through the Wire. I felt like it was only right that then after the show, I made a record called Through the Stitches. And that was that, dude.
Yeah.
It was pretty
I
cool.
still remember like the day that you sent me that. Because I think you recorded that one on your own too, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And then you sent it to me when I was in LA. I was like, bro.
Yeah.
And like, not even to mention that you had fucking stitches on your lip and shit, and it's like it was hard for you to just talk normal conversation. You rap so fucking fast in that song too.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know how this guy does it, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Talking about some of that shit's freaking wild to me. It's weird too, like, I don't have PTSD from anything. And I fucking should.
You should.
But I don't. And Daisy would always ask me, like, because, her and I had gotten in a car accident too, and it fucked her up, like,
Yeah.
mentally, like, where she gets nervous to do certain things now, or like certain turns and stuff like that, where she's like really is cautious because, like, we got hit by a car coming out of nowhere on their phone, flying down the road. It was at night. We're in Carmel. We're on the Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
Out there, Highway 1 or whatever that is.
Monterey.
Yeah, and then we come to turn out of a dirt lot. There's no cars around. Well, this car fucking flying. Right when we turned, I told her, I was like, hit the gas, because she's in a stick shift Subaru, right? WRX 6-speed turbo.
Did she see them coming down before you took the turn?
The way that the road was, and the way, because it was to another one where the sun was setting situation, so that manipulates light, so you're not really seeing it like in the dark where you can kind of see the glow or the hue of a headlight.
Yeah.
Well, this person, where we should have had plenty of time from where, if we were to see them around the bend of where they were, it would have been different. But because they were speeding, and the fact that when we were pulling out, it was just the timing was off. So I tell her, gun it. I'm not wearing a seatbelt because we literally just pulling out.
Yeah.
She was, and when she pulls out, and the car's coming, I lean forward and I put my arm over her when we get hit. So when we get hit, I fly up and I fucking hit the roof, and and then our back end of the car swings and hits the mountain. And then bounces back into the road, and now we're on the road, and like the bumpers like ripped off, like the car blew through us. They were okay. She got out and was like worried about them, and like obviously she knew I was okay because I got out with her. I was making sure she was okay. I'm like controlling the environment, whatever. I was so calm. The cops, when they got there, asked if I seen what happened. I was like, brother, I was in it.
That's so funny. They thought you were a witness.
Yeah, because I was like eerily calm. So I helped them like hold the bumper out while they got the saw from the fire department and cut the bumper off. I put it through the window, and I made sure she was okay. She was in real bad pain. She had fractured or whatever her collarbone. It wasn't a break, but it was like, I don't know what you want to call it, but the seatbelt from whenever it went like that. And I had real bad whiplash. I just didn't acknowledge it at the time because I was like just thinking about making sure we were good. They were like, hey, do you want us to call you a tow truck? Do you need to go to the hospital? I was like, no and no. I was like, I'll fucking drive this thing. So I put on the car. Now it's dark time now, and we have to then go around the mountains and then go all the way to the hotel. She was okay. You know, she was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I didn't like tell her she couldn't go. She was the one that said like, no, I don't want to go. I was like, okay, like if you're good, I'm good. Like, let's go. The other people were fine, whatever. And anyways, I turn on this little deal on the car so it'll show me each tire, because the car was
PSI in each
car was like this, you know. So he was like, which crazy they let me do this, but they were like, if you want to risk it and try driving it, go for it. So I was like, all right, bet. So I fucking drive all the way through the mountains in the dark with a car that's
like lopsided
sideways, and the tires are like where the car is driving at this angle. Like,
oh my god, it's just like misaligned.
Oh, bad. And the tire, the way it was rubbing, was catching on fire, or would get hot and start smoking. So I have the little deal on the computer to tell me, so when the tire would turn red, I knew it was getting too hot. That was the only way I would be able to gauge it, because it was dark. So I fucking drive through the mountains, whatever. And I get her, you know, in the car safe to the hotel. And that was nuts. But anyways, so all those things, like I've always been very like, I don't know what it is, but I told Daisy, I was like, I was meant for war.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
The way that my brain, which I was like, watch, I'm gonna end up being an old man, like you know, like it's all gonna catch up to me. I'm gonna be like hearing fucking a fly, you know,
the beeper at the self checkout.
Exactly.
You're like, oh
yeah. But I'm like, I hope PTSD don't catch up to your boy. But like, my body's always been, or my mind is just always, when it comes to fight or flight, I'm just going to fight.
Constant stress mode.
And it's just, I like zone in, where it's good, I guess, for me to be that person around, because I've lead into logic, and also people tend to find comfort in having somebody like that around in stressful environments, because if everybody's all like, you know, out of their mind, like, you know, and your cortisol levels are spiking, your stresses and everything, it's like, to know if somebody could just be
calm and collected,
it can make a difference. So I'm glad for whatever gene or whatever damage I have in my brain that made me that way. Or trauma. I'm sure if I talked to a counselor, they'd be like, yes, serious trauma, my boy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I feel like I'm a similar way too, bro. Cause like living in LA, I was in so many car accidents too. I just became numb to it. Like I got hit and run on by a Prius. I got hit by a drunk driver on my third date with my girl. We were literally just like parked at a red light. Like half my car accidents, bro, that I've been in, I'm parked at a red light, not doing shit.
Yeah.
Just sitting there waiting for it to turn green. Like the drunk driver, this fool took a turn going like 50, and there's like 2 rows of cars next to me. So I was the last car to get hit.
Yeah.
This fool took the turn hella fast, hit this car that was in the left lane, and then all those cars ended up hitting my car because he was going that fast.
Right. So chain reaction.
Chain reaction. He pushed 4 cars into my car, and then he just hopped out, and he was just like, "Oh, my bad, guys." Like, and he like admitted like, "Oh, I had a couple beers, you know, whatever." And like, this fool looked like Post Malone, which like pissed me off because I was like, dude, I don't want to think of Post Malone like that. But like, just the way his face looked, that's what he looked like. But it wasn't Post Malone, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, but he was driving a Mercedes just like some spoiled rich kid, bro. Just hit all of us. He had all his homies in the back seat. They were all fucked up. And then nothing happened to him. Like, he literally told us he was drunk. And like, we called the cops, and then the cops asked us like, hey, is anybody hurt? And we're like, no, but 4 cars, you know, we all got hit. This fool's drunk. And they're like, well, normally we don't really come out to the scene unless somebody's hurt. I'm like, dog, did I not just tell you he's fucking drunk? You just told us he's drunk. You're not going to come talk to a drunk driver. You're not going to issue any sort of citation to a drunk driver. And it's like, dude, that's just LAPD.
I was going to say, that's like whatever is going on with funding out there.
Like, that's
insane.
insane.
I seen the way that they dealt with the riots. Because when I came to LA, it was like midway through the BLM riots.
Yeah.
And there was no cops anywhere.
None.
Everybody had to fend for themselves on boarding up their establishments. Because what a lot of people don't know is how violent and reckless it was.
Dude, it was a fucking crazy time.
Cars were on fire, being flipped. I mean, police cruisers upside down. Stores and local mom and pop shops broken into, shattered windows, and it's like
tear gas.
It was wild. And so that's why whenever people like talk about riots or like peaceful protests, whatever, I'm like, that's not real. That's not fucking real, dude. I'm sure there are some areas in which like start out as being peaceful protests, which I've given, like, not to segue away from your story. We keep going on to accidents if you'd like, but
no, I like this topic because I got something for this one too.
Okay. You know, my thing about it is that things always tend to start out as like a good idea of like the people against the system. But then there's like a turn that happens that the people become the system. They become their own system, and the beauty in which it was supposed to be turns. And then it becomes this like, it is peaceful, that's not us. But now you're the margin against the mass, where the organized groups that are now a part of this peaceful protest are actually the ones throwing rocks at people and cars and obstructing the highway so women can't get to the hospital if they're pregnant, or people can't get to work. And then you're like, well, now you're defeating the purpose for the some that are still out there that are literally with their picket signs just trying to have their voice heard. I'm like, everything they're doing is not even being respected or heard, because the noise that y'all are making by creating havoc and damage and spreading hate is going against what the fuck we're all here for.
The bad apples.
And when I say here, like, I don't protest, but like, but I'm all for like all the freedom of the ability to do that. That's what makes our country incredible. But the problem is that you have this amount of people that come into the group that it's like wolves in the hen house, and they start acting like they're on your side, but they have so much hate and pent up anger, and they find their moment.
Or ulterior motives.
The cops can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time to go. It's time to raid and ravage through people's companies and houses and stuff, because the cops are so dispersed into areas of trying to keep everything at peace. They can't keep everything. So then when you have stuff like the BLM or the ICE, all that stuff that was going on.
George Floyd riots were a crazy
George
time.
Floyd. I mean, even back in the day, from what's the fella's name in LA? Rodney King. Those were all, granted, if you look back at some of the videos on what the cops were doing, which even now, but I think the cops are in a lot more of control now because of social media.
Because
so
now
they
people
have to
hold
conduct
them
themselves.
accountable.
Yeah. So they have to conduct themselves. A lot of those cops were getting rocks thrown at them and did nothing. But then you have a couple of them that were like shooting rubber bullets at people that shouldn't have even been shot at. Like, you have shitty fucking people, and that's the problem. And it's not about this or that or left or right or wherever you are. It's like to try and have a centered point of view at the two, and to realize that humans are just shitty in some regard. Not everybody, but there are a lot of people that are in the wrong positions for the wrong reasons. And then you have to then look at them, and then you have a camera that makes them the focal point and the poster child of the mass when it's like a lot of them are not that way. And a lot of them, if they weren't held to their hierarchical place of not being able to speak up against the people that are in their own regime that are doing the wrong things, now if they speak up at all and say like, hey, old boy over here should not be carrying a badge, like he's a piece of shit. But if you say that, you're going against your brotherhood, and now they're going to blackball you. Now you're the bad guy. Now you're the one that they don't want part of the force. Now you're the one that doesn't stand with your brothers. And it's the same thing with the people outside. It's nobody wants to take accountability, and nobody wants to flesh out who shouldn't be in that system.
Yeah.
And I think that it's fucked up, and then it makes it corrupt. You know, it's like if a cop does something illegal and they cover it up, now y'all are the criminals. Like, what do you mean? How are you going to uphold the law? You're criminals. Like, you're using your system to your benefit to do crime. It's fucking wild.
It's
to me.
crazy because it's like, you know, cops, it's a power trip too, you know, like they feel like they have the power to get away with things too. Not all cops, but, you know, the ones that you're referring to, the ones that cover up the crimes that they're doing, like, it's a power trip. But like in terms of like the protesting and whatnot, like I'm all for peaceful protests, right? As long as it stays peaceful.
It just doesn't exist in Western society.
Because
it doesn't.
The people that with the bad intentions, they show up to these peaceful protests and they blend into the crowds so that they can use the protests as a way to get through their bad intentions.
Camouflage.
It's camouflage.
They use it as camouflage so that they could be in a crowd of 60 people and they're the ones throwing a stone in the sky.
Yeah.
And then they see the stone land and hit somebody, and now it's all those 60 people that are the threat.
And it's fucked up because it's like, how can we gather peacefully, truly, when you don't know who's here for the peaceful intention? And
I
not.
think that it's the people that are in that group need to look and turn to the person that casted that stone and beat the dog shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like, truthfully, I mean, I don't want to say to invoke harm or anything, but like, you get what I'm saying is like, then you need to eradicate that person, detain them, and help the cops now do their job. Yeah. This person is not with us.
But if
like,
a cop,
them.
If a
this
cop
person
sees you
here.
detain somebody in the crowd and they don't have the context, they're gonna look at it as you're just randomly attacking.
Not always. There's a lot of people that were people that were detaining other people that were doing shit in public and helping the cops.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of videos of that too. Again, it's not as publicized because
people spew hate.
Well, because that's a bridge of connecting the two parties together to show that they're there for a commonality of peace.
Yeah.
You can't show that and invoke that people are out there doing that and encourage people to do that. They want to show that if you do anything at all to help the cops, you're against us, and then the cops are going to beat you. It's like, that's not the case. If you were able to go and look at your group and say, hey, you're not, like, put that sign down because you're not standing for what we're standing for.
Yeah.
You're using this for malicious intent and your own, your own selfish desire to go and utilize this opportunity for your own devious benefit.
You know, I have one example of this.
Fucked up.
So like in LA during the George Floyd riots, I remember like there's a whole bunch of people in the crowd, you know, peaceful protesters, yes, but then there's also the people looting, throwing rocks, throwing shit, right, whatever. So this protest was happening by the Grove on 3rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that Trader Joe's is?
Mm-hmm.
This is like the first time I've ever seen anything like this. So like they're all in a big crowd. There's cops over there with their riot shields and everything. They're tear gassing over there. They're doing their thing over there. Crazy shit, I know. But then there's the Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Now the looters are coming to like try to break down the glass of the Trader Joe's. And then it was the funniest shit because I saw all these white moms come in front of Trader Joe's. They're like, no, not Trader Joe's.
That's funny.
And then they like blocked off these people from throwing rocks and like trying to break into Trader Joe's, and they defended Trader Joe's.
Wow.
Bro. And I'm like, that is the funniest shit. And it's also like the coolest shit.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
they're like,
they held
fuck
people
up our
accountable.
Sunday.
You're not going to fuck up Trader Joe's. Not Trader Joe's. And it's so funny because that was actually the Trader Joe's I used to work at.
Yeah.
And like, it was like seeing that area affected by the protests and like just everything over there. And then like seeing this crowd of people come together to defend it. Right. It's like, we should be defending all people, you know, not just fucking Trader Joe's, but like when you're in a peaceful protest, it should be peaceful. If you have one person throwing rocks, like you said, like the crowd needs to gang up on that person.
Yeah, they need to tell them like, you're out, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be open to kicking people out of your club when they oppose to be a threat to your club and your message. But that's the thing, is people won't look at their group and see any flaw. they just want to find the opposing side, and then that's all their anger goes to. And it's like, and that's not a good system to have. Like, you know how much better your guys' message would be heard if you found the people that are fucking it up and then kicking them out and telling them like, hey, they're not with us. But that's my TED talk on it.
I love that. And with that, guys, I think we're about to come to the close of the episode.
What time are we at right now?
It's 9:48. I got the interview at 10. Guys, I'm going to be featured in an online publication called Patient Portal. I'm going to have a Zoom call interview right now with Suzanne, I believe is her name. She's going to, just ask about my cancer journey, everything that I've been through, pretty much everything that I've been sharing on TikTok this whole time, but just sharing it onto the Patient platform. I think it's Patient Portal. That's what it's called.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Nice. We did kind of jump into the pod today, which is a nice little change of pace, but also we just did a pod. So there wasn't really anything to update as far as like health and there wasn't like a week gap. So because we've been able to rock and do everything, that's the reason why we didn't go on like a opening tangent. I think today was like a nice opportunity to just
try something else.
The shit.
Shoot something else.
Yeah, and so not that those updates won't be coming, because they absolutely will, and hopefully they're all positive and good and everything like that. But we are also in the same frame. The next episode you'll see we did 2 cameras and then I edited them to be according. But because of the time crunch and everything today, and a little issue with one of the other cameras, we're just gonna rock it this way. Hopefully you guys are cool with that, and you don't prefer the other one. But
next episode we'll jump back and forth again. We'll try it out.
We'll see what works. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still experimenting everything,
Of course.
But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this pod's been turning out. I'm glad that you and I have been able to stay consistent and
absolutely,
make it a priority.
Yes.
It's important to have these conversations. Just talking about state of the world, talking about health, talking about tech, talking about all the things that we be talking about. It's also kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
Like helps us, at least me, it helps me reflect on everything that's happening around me, because like sometimes like I'll have thoughts in my head of like, all right, this is what's happening in the world, like my own version of thoughts, but then like when I hear you articulate it, I'll get a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the way you are with your words and shit, like it gives me a clearer perspective, so that's why I appreciate having these conversations.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I'm glad I can provide any kind of perspective. It's just my own like ideas and thoughts, man.
No, I mean this whole world just runs on ideas and thoughts. End of the day.
Well, fucking said. That is true. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And likewise, back onto you. It's having these conversations. They're fucking awesome. And yeah, today was completely. I mean, we were kind of all over the place telling stories, which I think is pretty fun. So. If you guys like that, and want to see more of it, and that's what we'll keep on doing, and we're just going to keep rocking and talking about a little bit of everything. So, love y'all. Keep being great.
Yes, sir.
Till the next time.
All right, y'all. Love you guys. Catch you on the flip. Gone.